Hey there, so back out in the garden today to do a bit more planting. I want to plant the rest of those little seedlings that I have. I have a bunch of seedlings I started about a month or so ago indoors, and I want to plant the rest of them out, find some containers and some spaces where they can grow. We're having a couple of warm days here. Like last night it stayed in the 50s overnight, which was nice and definitely warmer, maybe warmer than normal for this time of year. But we're gonna start getting back into the kind of like nights maybe in the 30s Fahrenheit or even freezing. So I figure if I'm gonna plant out seedlings, I probably should get them out. At least they have a couple days to kind of get used to the temperatures. They've been hardening off, and most of them are gonna go, well, I think I'm gonna plant a few in some of the grow bags that I have in the greenhouse and under some of these row covers potentially. So that should be, easy enough for them to live under there. Like they should have some protection. And even if we get down to the, freezing, they should be okay. So let me go grab the seedlings and then I'll show you the first bed where I'm planting them. I had them kind of tucked. You can see them under the row cover. I had them kind of tucked in here, and this is where they've been hardening off. First I brought them out into the greenhouse, and then I brought them out here. So what I've got left after planting a few in the containers are some spinach, a few beets actually, and then some rutabagas, which is kind of interesting, and a bunch of bunching onions. So I know I want to put all of the bunching onions over in this bed right over here, and then I got to figure out what to do with the rutabagas. Okay, so I planted all the bunching onions along the center of the bed, and now I'm gonna see, let's see what we've got. We've got these bull's blood and golden boy beets. I'm gonna pop these at the edge of this garden bed. They're not very big. They probably need like even a little bit longer than some of the other seedlings, but I want to get these all in the ground, as I said, before we get back into those cold temperatures. So we'll just pop them in. I've kind of been hit or miss with beets this year. It's been a little bit hard for me. Ooh, there's a kale seed that's stuck in there, but that's okay. Okay, now the rutabagas. Where should I grow them? I gotta find a good spot where they're not gonna interfere with any of my summer plans. And that's the trick with like late planting fall crops like this, is that I do want to make sure I'm not messing up any of the summer plantings, because a lot of these things will overwinter, but they won't really mature until spring. And that's what's really tricky in my zone, is that we get into, we've got a loud airplane going overhead. We really get into like summer temperatures pretty quickly. Our last frost is beginning to mid-April, and then it's like boom into warm temperatures. So I want to make sure that I'm leaving the space that I need for my summer crops, because I've definitely had mope times, like years where I plant radishes and I'm so excited, and then like I need to plant my tomatoes and they need to go right where the radishes were, and then it's a problem. But rutabagas, okay, let's find a spot for rutabagas. Where should we, you know what, maybe I'll just plant them kind of in the landscape. That might be interesting. All right, I am not sure how this is going to go, interplanting rutabagas into this grow bag. This is where I have onion sets, which are coming up really nicely. They're actually looking really, really good. And I figured that they're gonna take a while to mature. And I guess my hope with the rutabagas is that they will be done faster than the onions. And so I'll be able to harvest them and get them out of the way before the onions are really like maturing and starting to take up more space. I don't know if this is advisable. It certainly isn't technically proper companion planting. So, you know, that's definitely not true, but we will try. And now I'm gonna move you over because I've got this cute cabbage here. Let's see if I can do this. It's always a little hard to balance with the front pack. I'm going to put some of my spinach, that seedling, as well as my last little clump of lettuce. And a couple of these dazzling blue kale over here by the cabbage. And just see if this will turn into like a big greens container that'll be, you know, hopefully gorgeous in the spring. Not sure how that's gonna go. And I'm gonna pop a little spinach over in this other grow bag because I have some space. And I've got like one spinach plant. And look at this wild little kale seedling that just found a spot. Seedlings are so, oh here, you know, I'm gonna put it in this container. I've got violas in this little container. And it has a little hole, a little space. And I'm gonna put the kale and the spinach in here. And we'll see, they maybe will add to the kale, viola container. I don't know, at this point I'm just kind of having fun. All right, well, I rinsed out the seed tray and I'll go pop that back in the garage until we're ready for spring planting, which will be exciting. How much will these seedlings grow? I don't know. It is definitely late. Even in zone 7A, even here where we have a pretty mild winter, I don't know that they'll grow that much. I definitely think the kale will grow. I find that the kale really does pretty well, even in the cool temperatures. I don't know, the lettuce, it might be too late, but that'll be fun anyways. And it's still a little bit of green that kind of fills in and around. I'm super interested to see what happens with the rutabagas. I do not know how that's gonna go, but that could be really cool. And with the onions, you know, that could be fun. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go put this row cover back on here, and then I wanna do a bit of deadheading and that sort of thing, because I'm still doing that. That's still a constant process even into these cooler months. But at least we got some seedlings planted and baby girl slept through the whole thing. So that's always a bonus when you got a little garden friend. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out in the garden, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.